money straight, yeah. Gotta make sure that my baby's straight, yeah, yeah.
Caddy, did you make this?
23 and a half in a day, and I wouldn't waste a minute, man. Gotta make sure that my baby's straight, so they never want for anything. 23 and a half in a day, and I never waste a minute, man.
So I'm super excited to welcome DJ Four Corners, the official DJ of the Toronto Raptors. Please give it up for DJ Four Corners. Are you in the building, sir? Where you at, sir?
I'm in the building. What's going on, Sean? How you doing, brother?
Yo, doggy. Oh, love, bro. Love is love, man.
Nice sweater, by the way.
Guy?
Nice sweater.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Pay my invoice.
This the next one, though.
I see it. That's the exact one I want with the pink strings. Oh, yeah, fucking fly in that drip, boy. I love it. And you know what? Actually, these two things are something that I feel like we're going to talk about, and that I want to definitely talk about. Cool. What it is, life of a creative. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what these brands kind of have a bit of inspiration behind as well. So we're definitely going to get into some fun stuff to talk about. But, you know, I mean, I think often, like, it's always the best place to start is always at the beginning. So I feel like a lot of people may know you. A lot of people may see you doing all these cool, crazy things. But, I mean, towards your career where you are now, what's your origin story, Mike? Where did Kirk turn into Four Corners? How did Kirk turn into Four Corners? How did that happen?
Make me sound like a Marvel superhero or something like that. My origin story. Nothing crazy happened. I just kind of decided through a series of events that this is what I wanted to do. It was like a hobby turned career. Just me and a couple friends just started going to parties, starting to see the scene. And this is like late 90s, early 2000s. When
you don't have to date us. You don't have to put dates on stuff.
No, we're dating ourselves. We're dating ourselves. You were there. Yeah, certain like DJs in the city, like Baby Blue Sound Crew and like Dr. J started from scratch. Some of these guys were all doing incredible parties, and I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. I thought it was the coolest thing to walk into a club and like the way they were orchestrating the energy in the room, and they looked like they were having more fun than anybody else. And I gravitated towards it. So I started hanging out with those guys and picking their brains and practicing at home. My dad had this crazy record collection when I was growing up. We always listened to records in the house.
Is that where you do your Twitch from? Is that where you do the Twitch from?
Yeah.
All those records?
Where I'm doing my Twitch streams from, that's where I learned how to DJ. That exact room in my parents' basement. Where now it's like full of my records and my dad's records, but like when I started, I had like 5 records and my dad had a couple hundred. So I learned how to DJ with those. And, you know, skip ahead to like making that decision to really do it. I first wasn't DJing anywhere. The first place I really got a solid gig was Roots Canada in the Eaton Center. And I would DJ there for 10 hours every weekend. And that's kind of where I got my chops and like made some connections and really just got to practice for 10 hours every weekend and get paid for it. And from there, I started throwing little parties. I remember I used to do this Thursday party in Scarborough at Club Sandoz with, you forget about these things, right? With my guy DJ Chief and Jester. We used to do that every Thursday, and it used to be flop and used to be awesome. Then it would be flop again, and you just had to keep going. And yeah, man, I mean, skip ahead. I ended up working with the Raptors, and that helped a lot of things, and just continuing to persevere, making mixtapes, and all through it all, it's just been fun. So like, as long as it's been fun and I'm enjoying myself, I kept at it, and I got to the point where I was actually making enough money that I could quit my day job and do it full time. Like, and I never looked back from that.
Hey, you know, I was telling Sean the other night we did a live. I used to play in Peter's band, and the one track that you did with him, we started actually learning that track, and then we were gonna play it. He was just like, yo, we're gonna bring the band, we're gonna play that track downtown, we're gonna do it live in front of all these people, but then they ended up losing, and then we didn't end up doing it. But 360 now, I'm actually meeting the guy that actually produced the track that we were gonna play live.
Yeah, that Raptors North Over Everything song with myself, Jackson, and Carl Wolf. Yeah. Along the way of DJing, I got into production because it just seemed like the natural thing. Instead of playing other people's songs, I wanted to be able to play my own song. So that's pretty much my main focus nowadays, aside from DJing, which I still love.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something definitely I want to talk about as well. I mean, going, just like how you said, going from playing other people's songs, like I'm always in awe of DJs. I have a lot of DJ friends. I'm blessed to have a lot of DJ friends. So I've been around it the entire time. And I'm always in awe of seeing how DJs take these things and make them their own. The way they cut the track up, the way they crossfade, the way they yellow page, the way they do all the tricks. Like, they're able to take these songs and make them their own. But going from the transition that you have now, from going from DJ to producer to actual creative artist in this particular field, how freeing is it to you? How much more do you feel connected to this music now that you're kind of making it yourself? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, it's pretty much a whole new thing. Like, there's a feeling that you get as a DJ when you throw on a record and the whole place goes crazy. Like, I can't even describe how that feels. And the more you do it, the more you crave it. Like, you crave that energy. But when you are actually the one making the records, like when I play on something, put out something that I made and get that reaction, it's like a million times better. So I'm just chasing that feeling, bro. I'm just chasing that feeling. I love music and I love to share music. And when I can share music that like I thought of and created or got together with people and put together, and then I go back to the place where it all started and like just throw it on the turntable and play it for people and they react, that's the highest form of adrenaline that I've ever felt in my life. So
exactly.
I just need more. I just need to do it over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that to me, I think kind of answers the next question I had for you, which is what your inspirations were behind wanting to do this. And that's it right there. And that's the same high that I chase. I love seeing the joy in people's faces. I love seeing them express that joy over something that I've helped create.
Exactly.
I've created. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it is super addictive. It's super addictive.
Bro, I remember the first Heightened Chef event that I came to, and like you didn't stop smiling all night. You were just bouncing around the room, and your smile was this big, and I could just tell. It's like, yo, I'm so happy that you've always been a passionate guy, but like you're so passionate about this, and there's so many people enjoying it that I'm like, yo, I'm so happy Sean found this lane, and it's feeding his soul. I can tell. Yes, exactly. And I love, like I said, just like creating the culture. I like being out there and making something that I feel is last. People are going to want to do even after I'm done doing it, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone and done, and this is still going on. It's about legacy for me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. That's the same thing with music. Like as a DJ, when I'm not here anymore, I'm not playing any more parties. Yeah, the mixtape will still be around, and maybe it'll be like in some archaeological study, because who listens to actual CDs or anything? There's mixes online. I don't know what it's. Some retro party or something. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Like 20 years from now, I don't know in what form people will be listening to music in. Like 20 years ago, it wasn't digital the way it is now. So who knows? But if I'm making the songs that I'm making, my hope and dream is that just like all the great artists that are no longer here that I love, that people will still be able to listen to, enjoy, and feel something from the music that I've made. Absolutely. And there's no better passion, no better drive than that. And actually, again, you're my guy, you're the best guest ever. You're segueing into all my questions from me. So since talking about that, like you were just saying, we have no idea how people are going to consume our art after we're gone, kind of thing, or further down, even just maybe 10 years down the road, because 10 years ago, there's no such thing as YouTube. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's hard to believe that YouTube is only like 10 or 12 years old. And we've been doing stuff. So my next question is, how do you feel that, or how do you want your art, your creations, your music to affect current culture? And how do you feel sometimes current culture affects your music? You know what I'm saying? How does it affect what you put out? It's a very good question. How I feel or how I want my art to affect culture is I want it to last. I want it to last in whatever form people enjoy it in. Like, think about old music and how it used to be records, and then it was 8 tracks, and then it was, remember, mini discs, and
Yeah.
then CDs, and like all the generations of the way people listen to music. At the end of the day, people are gonna go get music because we all love music. And vinyl even came back, that regular consumers, non-DJs, are collecting vinyl again. So
It's a thing.
yeah, it's a huge thing. Do you know Urban Outfitters is the largest retailer of vinyl in the world now? Because they're a big chain and they have dope record sections in all their stores. So you can get, I bought records at Urban Outfitters. Like, you buy a shirt and some records, it's dope. But
Wow.
I hope that what I'm creating and what I continue to create lasts for generations, just like the people that I admire. And then the second half of that question is like, how is culture of influencing me? Is like, I'm like a tech nerd, so I like to be up on things, and when things are changing, I'm not resistant. I'm like all for it. So the different waves of technology that we've experienced, even just going from real vinyl and CDs to digital with Serato, which is the program, the software that we use to DJ, most of us.
Yes.
That change influenced the way that I DJ, because now, number one, I don't have to carry as much music with me, so I don't have to be like picky about what I bring, because you just have to bring all your records to the club.
Yes, I remember carrying many of those crates to club for friends.
So them times you had to, like, you couldn't have everything with you, so you had to pick and choose. Then things changed where you can have everything with you. So that expanded my playlist. And then beyond that, those days, if you didn't have a record, you couldn't play the song. Nowadays, and I always say this to young DJs that I mentor, is like, there's no such thing. You have no idea what the pain is of wanting to have a song and not being able to get it, because that doesn't exist anymore. You can hear about you can download a song in the club if you have an internet connection.
Damn right.
So that changed the way that I perform, because now I have access to everything. And then on top of that, as a producer, I can make my own versions of things. So like, it just expands the creativity and the amount of tools that you have at your disposal to be able to do what it is that you do, which is that base thing of playing music and making people dance.
And do you feel that you have that level of creativity when you have to do something for like a big franchise, brand, whatever that it is, as opposed to doing for your own independent stuff? Do you feel like limited sometimes? Like when you're at a Raptors game, I know you can't necessarily play all the tunes you want to play necessarily, or you know what I mean? Is there sometimes a push and pull there for you?
I would say earlier in my career there was, because I was just happy to be DJing somewhere. So like, whatever it is that you need me to do, I'll do it. But then I turned the corner, no pun intended, that I got to be able to be more creative, and people are hiring me for my expertise or for my style. And then I get to rub my sauce all over everything I do. So at this point, I pretty much am the catalyst in anything that comes out of speakers that I'm behind, because that's why you get Four Corners. If you need a DJ, you can hire a DJ. If you want Four Corners, you got to know what it is that you're asking for, because that's what I'm going to give you unapologetically. Like, I do me. And if you don't like what I do, you hire the wrong guy.
Yeah. And you see, I know that, and that's the perfect mentality, but I know not everybody comes out with that mentality, or not everybody starts with that mentality. And it's probably been an evolution and a journey on the way that you've taken to get to where you are now. So
yeah, I mean, well, in DJing, there's different kinds of DJs. And like, I don't knock DJs that just, they have a day job and they DJ on the weekend and just want to make some extra money, or DJs that just, various things. I'm like about the culture, and I'm an artist. So I take everything that I do very seriously, because it comes from a deep passion. And I care about this shit. I care. So I care in a different way than some other people care. And if they do it a different way, that's cool. This is the way I do it.
Yes. And again, like I said, I know that comes from an evolution and a growth over the course of time. So what I was going to ask next is, over the time from, let's say, when you consider yourself to have been starting in this position to where you are now, what was maybe the biggest challenge that you overcame during that period, and what's the biggest reward that you feel you get from this particular journey that you've taken?
Honestly, biggest challenge was, especially in the early days, just getting somebody to like listen and care and give me a shot, because getting that first shot is really, really difficult. Just like a lot of things. It's like you practice, you do your thing. But DJing is one of those things that, in performing in general, is one of those things that you can practice your ass off. You still have to, it's a different thing when you do it in front of people. You have to learn how to work with a crowd and how to engage with people and how to make them feel what it is that you're trying to say through your performance. So it takes a while. And getting somebody to give you that shot, because like it's their money, you know what I mean? And they're selling tickets and they want the people that come to be happy, so they got to be conscientious about who they hire to be in charge of the entertainment. That was pretty difficult. And then the second thing I would say, specifically in this city, because I came up here, and at the time that I did especially, it's like there used to be hip hop clubs and dance music clubs, and they didn't really cross. And that was like a different way of saying there's black clubs and there's non-black clubs, or there's black clubs and there's white clubs. So there's black and brown and every other color, and then there's white clubs. And it was a difficult situation to try to like just play music. And like, well, I don't want to limit myself and only be able to play in certain clubs because my color is this, my skin color is black. I want to be able to play everywhere. And it was a struggle and like a conscious effort that me and my partners at the time had to endure and like make some key moves. And even to the point where we had to, like, some of the arguments that promoters or clubs had is like, well, you play at that club and that club is kind of rough. So if you play there, that's the reason why we can't hire you here. So then we'd be like, okay, cool. Well, we stopped playing there. Now what? Then we stopped playing there. Now what? How about now? And then they're like, okay, well, I don't know, man, like the dress code and stuff. It's like, all right, we're wearing a suit. Now what? Like, we had to do everything, jump through every hoop to get our foot in the door. And then once we did, we just rubbed our sauce all over their club. And they realized eventually. And then we were like, okay, well, we don't really want that many black people in our club, but like, you guys are the cool black guys, so you guys can. And then it's hard for us to get our friends in the club. And like all kind of mess with that, bro. But like, as time passed and as we grew, and as I grew as a solo artist and got to the point where it was undeniable, then things started to get a little bit easier. And like, don't get it twisted. Like, I still come across some things like that, and there's a lot of racism in nightlife that we're all actively fighting against. But the struggle continues. The struggle continues in that sense.
But again, there are also bright points too. Like, I know you've done some amazing things. Like,
you
know what? I'm not gonna force you to do it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna name drop for you. Like, work with incredible people, bro. Kanye West, Justin Bieber, Major Lazer, DJ Snake, Daniel Caesar. Like, that's just a few. You know what I'm saying? You've been at the Olympic Games, the F1 Grand Prix, Juno Fest, the NBA All-Star Game, the Cannes Film Festival. What?
I know, right? Dude, even when I was there at that one in particular, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here, bro? Like, I'm a youth from Jane and Shepherd. I'm standing on this red carpet right now in Cannes, France. Like, who the hell do I think I am?
I'm glad you catch yourself.
Music has taken me around the world, man. I'm so grateful.
So blessed, bro. That's why, like I said, it fills me with joy every time I see you in some crazy foreign place, taking some pictures, some crazy landmark. It fills me with joy. Like, some people might hate and be like, oh, that fucking guy, not that good anyway. No, bro, it fills me with joy because I feel like I'm there with you. You know what I'm saying? So
I hope so. And I always, like, when we get back out, dude, like, honestly, please come somewhere with me. Like, I've brought so many of my friends to places. I'm just like, yo, just get your plane ticket. Everything else is handled. Just reach, because I want you to experience what I experienced. Like, I've had homies come with me to like across Asia. I've had homies come to me to London, to Dubai. Like, it lights my fire to see people that I love get to experience the things that I experience as part of my job, because it's not everybody that gets to fly around for work. I orchestrated my shit that way, but I'm so happy to bring people with me. So yo, wherever the hell it is that's your favorite place or in your bucket list, like let's do that.
We're going. We're going.
Just don't pack none of the heightened stuff in your luggage though.
I don't want to get dripping on borders.
You know what? We'll go to Amsterdam, so therefore there'll be ample supplies when we reach. You don't have to worry about that.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, love it, my bro. Love it, my bro. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about where you started and what your journey's been like all across this time, we are at this moment in time. You know what I'm saying? You and I occupy this space in this moment in time in the universe. And what is happening for you now, my G? Like, you know what I really want you to first, I know you have things that I have no idea about, but the one thing that I do know about that I do want you to talk about, and you've been doing a lot of new stuff with, is 401 West. Talk to us a little bit about 401 West, and then maybe just let us know about anything else cool that you have coming up and going on and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. 401 West is a music project that myself and a partner of mine, Ashton Adams, who I met a couple years ago, started late 2019. We started it. We just got into some conversations about music. We had worked on some music together. He's from Cambridge, Ontario, and his family has a studio facility there that I spent a lot of time there working on music and doing other stuff. And it just came up in conversation after having known each other for like a year that we both love house music. And he's a little bit younger than I am, so he wasn't aware of like the roots. Like, he knows house music is made by Black people, but he didn't know some of the names or like a lot of the music that I showed him. He didn't know that wasn't a Black artist that made that, or that was like Inner City and Alias and like CC Peniston and all these, you know, Frankie Knuckles, like the originals from Chicago, from Detroit, from New York. He was aware, but he didn't know how deep it went. And we just had these conversations every time we got together for this, like about a month. We just kept talking about it and watching videos. And from that, we decided, you know what, let's make a specific project that's based on just house music. And let's try to capture that essence. Let's try to take it back to the originators and salute the forefathers, but with a modern twist. And we decided to do that. And then I came up with the name 401 West just because he's in Cambridge, I'm in Toronto, and I'm constantly traveling down the 401 West to get to him. That's the reason for the name. And I love that. And I always like geographical names too. Like Four Corners, I'm called Four Corners because of the saying, the four corners of the world. And then I named my record label. I have an independent label that I use pretty much primarily just to release my own music independently. And I called it Jane Shepherd because that's where I grew up, Jane and Shepherd in North York. So it just clicked to me that 401 West would be the name of this project because that's the route that connects us. Yeah. And so far,
how many tracks do you guys have? You guys have a lot of tracks. How many
tracks? We haven't dropped a lot yet. We dropped our first single last May, and then we dropped our EP in November, which is 3 songs. So we have 4 official songs out. We have some bootlegs and other things floating around, but we have 4 official songs out, and we're working on our next EP right now that's going to be dropping hopefully in April. And super excited, man. Super excited. Super excited about making the music and also educating people on the roots of house music and the history to pay the correct, to give people their flower. Because a lot of these guys are still around. Like, rest in peace, Frankie Knuckles and a few others, but like a lot of them are still around. We need to give them their flowers while they're here. I really believe in saluting people when they're here, not after they're gone. Then we do the whole celebratory, oh man, they were so great. It's like, how about you? They are so great. And let's let them know now why they can receive the flowers. So that's kind of the basis of that project. And it's very exciting. It's like the most exciting thing I'm doing right now musically. Aside, like, I'm doing some things with Four Corners as well. I'm excited. I dropped a record with Cardinal, with Mr. Easy, Jade Inc., Joe Boy, and DJ Neptune just a few months ago. And then another record with Scales, who's another big artist from Nigeria, because I'm heavy into the Afrobeats movement and been able to connect with some incredible artists down there. So that's been dope. And I've been working with a lot of really dope upcoming Canadian artists. I've been working with some people in Europe. Like I have my hands in a lot of stuff, but 401 West is like near and dear to my heart because I feel like it's such a meaningful project beyond just the music. It's like there's a whole history behind that we're hoping to become a part of the house music legacy that is timeless. So that's what's up. But in the meantime, because there's no clubs or concerts or anything, I'm just doing what you're doing. Everything that I do is online. So just how we're doing this tonight online and everybody's able to enjoy it and kind of be together virtually. I've been DJing pretty much a few times a week on a platform called Twitch, which is pretty much where DJ culture lives nowadays. There's so many DJs from around the world. If you went on there right now, there's at least 100, 150 DJs from various parts of the world DJing as we speak. And it's been cool. It's not the same as being in person with people.
But it's been a lifeline. I have to say, it's been a lifeline because the DJ culture and the entertainment culture has taken the biggest hit in all of this pandemic madness. So it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist. And we don't know what it's going to look like when we get out of this. So we have to figure other things out. So just like we've had to endure and make what everybody, the buzzword is pivot. We've had to pivot as DJs. It's part of the DJ game. It's part of the musician game. Like things change in the industry all the time and you have to adapt. So this is kind of this is a big adaptation, but like. At least everybody has to do it though. The fact that
we all do. We all do. And we're all kind of used to figuring shit out anyway. So that's been, it's just another thing.
Born in that thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yo, Kirk. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for talking with us. I know we could sit here and talk and run jokes for hours on hours.
No, but the people want to eat, bro. The people that want Alfred's here, like, yo, I want to see them enjoy my food. Yo, thank you for sending the meals. Also, the non-infused. I cannot handle it. Or you know what? I take it back. It's not that I can't handle it. I feel like when I came that time, I did it wrong. I underestimated the portions, and I did myself dirty. So
you gotta go half and then work. You know,
but I blame you a little bit, Alfred, because I'm like, yo, this tastes good, and I just kept eating. And then I found myself parked up for 3 hours trying to shake it off before I could get my ass home.
Yo, bro, we love you, bro. At least you were safe at home already, so you were good.
I know today would have been a good day, but still, I was like, you know what? Let me ease back into this. Send me the non-infused this time. Another time, I will try some portions. I will, unless you messed it up, and then I'm gonna find out later.
We wouldn't do you like that, bro. Do you like that? Yo, just before you go, did you get a chance to try everything?
No, I didn't try it yet. I have it sitting right here, ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Ready to go.
Let me know which one is your champion of the night. What was your favorite dish of the night? Once you go through them all, tell me which one was your favorite.
Will do, brother. Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Big
up Alien, Sick Gear. I'm so happy to rock that shit.
Thank you.
Been waiting. Gang. Yo, my bro, we're going to connect again. I have no doubt we're going to see each other.
We always do.
Yeah, man. Like I said, there's many ways for us to connect, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of cool stuff for us to talk about the next time. You know what I'm saying? If not, go check this man out on Twitch. He plays Twitch almost every day, so you can find a point in time in your schedule where you can listen to him. Again, also check out his own music, 401 West. More stuff coming out very shortly. And whenever the Raptors are allowed to have people back in their building, this man is going to rip it up. So whenever you see a Raptors game, you know it's his tunes that are making the crowds go crazy. Yo, my bro, love is love. Thank you so much for checking out.
LP, load that clip.